Hey everyone, ever wondered about the roller coaster life of Hollywood stars? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the whirlwind career of Demi Moore, an actress whose journey from the pinnacle of A-list stardom to unexpected career turns is nothing short of cinematic. From breaking salary records to battling with a series of commercial misfires, her story is a fascinating exploration of fame, resilience, and the ever-changing tides of the entertainment industry. So, if you're ready for an insider's look at the highs and lows of a true Hollywood icon, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get this show on the road. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this epic tale. The 90s, a time when shoulder pads were big and Demi Moore's paycheck was even bigger. Imagine this, you're flipping through your favorite magazine, and there she is, Demi Moore, the highest paid actress of her time. Not just among the top earners, mind you, but sitting pretty at the pinnacle. Now fast forward a bit, and it's almost like she took a sled ride down from the peak of Mount Hollywood, tumbling down as fast as she climbed up. Could it be the hefty price tag she attached to her performances that led her down this slippery slope? Studios were shelling out big bucks, but only for roles in movies that, let's just say, weren't exactly Oscar bait. And here's where it gets juicy. Her movies started to collect golden raspberries like they were going out of style. Think of it as the anti-Oscars. You definitely don't want your mantelpiece filled with these. It's like she became the Sharon Stone of her era, minus the police interrogation scene. But let's rewind to the beginning of Demi's career, back when Bruce Willis was sprinting after her faster than he ever ran from explosions in Die Hard. Moore didn't have to hustle through endless, forgettable TV shows. She hit the jackpot early on with a soap opera gig and quickly moved onto the big screen with Parasite and Blame It on Rio. Parasite, a horror flick that was so budget it made dollar stores look upscale, surprisingly raked in millions at the box office. Meanwhile, Demi Moore herself admitted it was the worst movie she'd ever been in. As for Blame It on Rio, let's just say it was an erotic comedy riding the coattails of Porky's success. Not exactly a cinematic masterpiece, but hey, it made money. And then, there's the bit about Moore being very comfortable with nudity. Early in her career, she posed for a plethora of magazines, leaving little to the imagination. And then came St. Elmo's Fire, the movie that turned Demi Moore from an 80s curiosity into a bona fide star. Picture this, Joel Schumacher, the director, literally had to fight tooth and nail to get Moore cast. The studio was like, her, really? But Schumacher saw something special in her auditions. Now get this, during filming, it turned out Moore was battling some serious demons, partying a little too hard with substances that definitely weren't sugar and spice and everything nice. Schumacher, in a move that might have severed her life, kicked her off set and told her to check into rehab. Talk about tough love, right, but he didn't cut her from the movie. Instead, Moore got clean, came back, and they even assigned someone to shadow her on set, ready to sound the alarm if she so much as looked at anything stronger than a cup of coffee. St. Elmo's Fire was a hit, raking in $38 million on a $10 million budget, and suddenly, Moore wasn't just the girl from those trashy horrors and toilet comedies. She started getting scripts with a bit more substance, and her paycheck for her next movie, About Last Night, shot up to $300,000. That film was another hit, proving Moore was on a roll, while her then boyfriend Emilio Estevez's directorial debut, Wisdom, tanked. Then, along came Bruce Willis. In '86, Willis was known for moonlighting, but he wasn't exactly Hollywood royalty, yet. Their careers were somewhat parallel at that point, both on the rise but not quite A-list. When Moore and Willis tied the knot in '87, they were both Hollywood's promising stars, not yet at the zenith of their fame. Between '87 and '90, it seemed like Demi Moore's career was hitting more bumps than a roller coaster at Six Flags. The Seventh Sign, flops, taking Michael Biehn down with it. Then, in '89, We're No Angels, a comedy that paired her with heavyweights Robert De Niro and Sean Penn, also tanked. It was almost like Hollywood had given her the cold shoulder. But then, along came Ghost. Funny enough, more actresses turned down roles in Ghost than actors, which kind of tells you something about the project's vibes at the time. Many in Hollywood were wary of it, and if it hadn't been for her string of flops, Moore might have passed on it too. Director Jerry Zucker actually cast her because he liked her performance in The Seventh Sign, of all things. He was especially impressed that she could cry on cue. No tricks, no gimmicks. Even Bruce Willis, Mr. Die Hard himself and Moore's husband at the time, passed on Ghost. He was like, nah, this isn't going to work, echoing most of Hollywood's skepticism. Moore wasn't entirely convinced either, but she saw a glimmer of potential in it, a gamble she was willing to take. And here's a juicy tidbit. The iconic short haircut of Moore's character in Ghost, that was all her idea. Originally, she was supposed to keep her longer hair, but Moore thought her character would appear more vulnerable with a pixie cut. She went for it without telling anyone, nearly giving the producers a heart attack. but the director sided with Moore, convinced that this bold move could actually pay off. Well, guess what? It did. Ghost hit the screens in 1990 and blew everyone away, becoming the highest-grossing film of the year, even surpassing Pretty Woman. With a budget of $22 million, it raked in a whopping $505 million worldwide. Suddenly, Demi Moore's career wasn't just back on track, it was soaring into the stratosphere. And as Ghost took off, it kickstarted a frenzy for romantic dramas and comedies in Hollywood. After the smashing success of Ghost, Demi Moore's career took a turn that had everyone talking. She snagged a Golden Globe nomination for her role, a testament to how much she had impacted the film industry. Following that, Moore's salary for The Butcher's Wife soared to 2.5 million bucks, showcasing her newly minted A-list status. But here's the kicker. She had already signed on for Nothing But Trouble before Ghost hit big, and for that comedy, her paycheck was a mere $500,000. Both films bombed at the box office, but what really stuck were the Golden Raspberry Awards they attracted, marking the beginning of Moore's complicated relationship with critics and the notorious Razzies. Then came Mortal Thoughts, a film where Bruce Willis played a secondary role to Moore. It seemed like her career was doing the hokey pokey, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but Moore wasn't down for the count. In 1992, she landed a role in A Few Good Men, initially asking for a hefty $3.5 million. The competition for the role was fierce, with Jodie Foster and Linda Hamilton also in the mix. To clinch the part, Moore had to cut her asking price to $2 million, proving she was willing to fight for roles that mattered to her. Interestingly, A Few Good Men originally had a bedroom scene between Tom Cruise's and Moore's characters, scripted by Aaron Sorkin. However, director Rob Reiner decided to cut it, feeling it was unnecessary, and that the film didn't need such scenes to make a strong impact. His intuition was right. Without the bedroom scene, A Few Good Men became a massive hit, grossing $243 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. Moore's performance was lauded, earning her a nomination at the MTV Movie Awards for Best Female Performance. In 1993, Demi Moore starred in Indecent Proposal, a film that, unlike A Few Good Men, didn't have actors clamoring to be a part of it. In fact, it seemed like Hollywood was playing hot potato, with both the male and female roles. Originally envisioned for Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, the script eventually fell into Moore's lap after the power couple exited stage left, sparking industry whispers about the project's viability. Even mid-tier stars like Charlie Sheen, William Baldwin, and John Cusack turned it down before Woody Harrelson stepped in, seemingly unfazed by the controversy. Moore, on the other hand, found herself in a bidding war, not for a higher salary, but to actually land the role. Julia Roberts was the producer's first choice, but when they couldn't seal the deal, even with a record-breaking offer, Moore stepped in, though not without reducing her initial salary demand to $3 million. The filming of Indecent Proposal was anything but smooth. Harrelson admitted to feeling uncomfortable filming intimate scenes with Moore, especially with her husband, Bruce Willis, occasionally on set. Moore clashed with director Adrian Lyne over her character's portrayal, though Lyne later apologized, conceding that Moore's vision was the right call. Despite the behind-the-scenes drama, the film split opinions down the middle. At the MTV Movie Awards, Moore and Harrelson were praised for their performances, even winning Best Kiss. Critics, however, were not kind, and Harrelson ended up with a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actor, while Moore was merely nominated. Yet Indecent Proposal was a box office juggernaut, pulling in $266 million against a $38 million budget. It's a classic case of audiences speaking louder than critics, and Moore's bankability soared. For her next film, Disclosure, she commanded a $5 million paycheck. Disclosure was notable not just for its provocative themes, but also for the physical and emotional demands it placed on Moore. She had just given birth to her third child a month before filming began, and had to get back into shape in record time. The film later became controversial when Moore faced sexual harassment allegations, which were eventually dismissed due to lack of evidence. Despite this, the studio's bold marketing strategy paid off, with Disclosure grossing $215 million worldwide. For her next project, Demi Moore was so passionate about taking part that she agreed to a fee that was, for lack of a better term, a bargain basement price given her superstar status at the time. She received a mere $500,000 for a film that, thanks in part to her financial flexibility, turned out to be quite a success, raking in $37 million against a $12 million budget. Riding high on the wave of 4 consecutive box office hits, Moore then moved on to The Scarlet Letter, a film where, ironically, she had to curb her salary expectations yet again. This time, Meg Ryan was eager to take on the lead role for $3 million. Despite Ryan's interest, Moore didn't have to lower her asking price to match, but she didn't see an increase either, landing a $5 million paycheck, the same as her previous film. The Scarlet Letter marked a significant turn in Moore's career. being the first film where she was truly the lead star and had a considerable influence on the production. If she wasn't satisfied with her appearance in a shot, she wouldn't hesitate to demand a reshoot, even if it was just to try a different hairstyle. Such demands inevitably led to production delays, which Moore would sometimes fund out of her own pocket. Though she continued to experiment with her looks throughout filming. The music for the film also became a point of contention. Initially, Moore rejected scores by the renowned composers Ennio Morricone and Elmer Bernstein, opting instead for John Barry, whom she admired for his work on Out of Africa. Bernstein, upon seeing the final version of the Scarlet Letter, even wrote Moore a letter thanking her for sparing his music from being associated with the film. Despite Moore's dedication and the dramatic changes she made, the Scarlet Letter was a commercial disaster, becoming one of the biggest flops of 1995. The film, which cost $46 million to produce, earned only $10 million at the box office. Critics were merciless, pulverizing the film with an average rating of 3 out of 10, and Moore received several Golden Raspberry nominations for her performance. In 1996, the fallout from the Scarlet Letter had yet to impact Demi Moore's career significantly, allowing her to secure a then record-breaking salary for an actress of $12.5 million for striptease. This figure was carefully chosen to surpass Julia Roberts, who was earning 12 million bucks per role at the time. Moore's reign as the highest-paid actress was short-lived, however, as Roberts soon reclaimed the top spot. Alongside striptease, Moore also earned $7.5 million for her role in The Juror, marking a pivotal year in her career. Despite the significant investment in Moore's star power, The Juror only managed to gross $22 million against a $44 million budget, and earned Moore a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress. Striptease followed with a $50 million budget and faced a disastrous test screening, leading to costly reshoots. Moore, who was filming G.I. Jane at the time and had shaved her head for the role, had to wear a wig for these reshoots, which was noticeably awkward. Despite a lukewarm critical reception and moderate box office performance, Striptease managed to collect $113 million globally, barely breaking even when considering video sales. Moore's $11 million salary for G.I. Jane was secured before the disappointments of 1996. The film itself was met with mediocre reviews and box office returns, and Moore received her second consecutive Golden Raspberry Award. The divorce from Bruce Willis and a string of commercial failures and scandals significantly tarnished her star status. While Moore had some success as a producer, notably with the Austin Powers franchise, her acting career struggled to recover. Attempts at a comeback, including roles in Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, and Half Light, did little to revive her standing. Her participation in projects like Margin Call showed she could still contribute to critically acclaimed work, albeit in smaller roles. Now at 61, Moore occasionally appears in films, often in minor roles. Her most notable recent appearances include The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent and the barely seen musical drama Please Baby Please. Moore's career trajectory showcases a rapid rise and fall unique among her peers. Her periodic retreats from the spotlight following setbacks suggest a degree of resignation rather than a relentless fight for relevance.